Hey everyone, Harrison from the VoiceForm team here. Thanks for checking out our latest video. It's going to be all about open-ended questions. We're going to learn about the meaning of open-ended questions, when to best use them, and some examples of how to structure your questions that are open-ended so that you get the best possible qualitative information from your end users or respondents in this survey. So let's dive in. So first things first, we'll chat about what are open-ended questions. And these are really questions that don't really have a closed or finite number of response options for a user. So in a closed-ended question, you can think of it like a multiple choice question. There will be a finite number of choices or options for users to respond to, which make it really easy to analyze the data, but really miss out on the more expressive, open-ended or unstructured data that might come from an open-ended question, such as a question that lets users respond with a text box or even with a voice or video response, which lets you really see the emotions and hear the voice of your end users in a way that closed-ended questions really can't. So you can think of open-ended questions as a way to receive an infinite number of possibilities of information from your users, and they really are types of questions that draw out the what, the how, the why behind what your survey respondents are thinking. A few examples, and today I'm going through a summary, but we have all of these within a blog post that we wrote on this, so feel free to check it out at voiceform.com in our resources. A few examples of great open-ended questions could be asking your end users about what type of problem your product or service solves for them, what could be done to improve the experience they have with your product or service, or maybe even give them some insight or an opportunity to share more about what they would change or what they would recommend that you do differently within your product or service. So those are just a couple examples, but we have a number of them available within this blog on our website too. When it comes to asking questions that are open-ended, the best things we can always say here is you want to make it feel conversational. Give it something that lets people go off on a tangent, lets them think through their thoughts in a way where it doesn't end with a simple yes and no, but in fact actually lets the user be able to tell a story or be able to almost feel as if they're being prompted for follow-up questions. So the more open-ended in nature you can make it, the better. In these cases, particularly for open-ended questions, we find asking one question at a time really effective, as it lets people really draw out their responses versus being overwhelmed with a number of sub-questions all at once. But of course, one thing we can recommend too is that there's so many better ways to get qualitative and open-ended responses than simply asking users to answer a question with a text box. So at VoiceForm, we have a number of different qualitative question types like voice and video questions. So you can ask questions with video, or voice responses, let people share their thoughts with voice. And this is a fantastic way because you get all the added benefits of the open-ended response, their tangents, their thought processes, their stories, their emotive feelings towards a certain question. And so you get all of that added rich information that the text alone couldn't possibly provide you. So we always love promoting that as a great option when structuring your open-ended questions. And whenever possible, if you're ever diving into something that probes the why, probes the what, the how, our blog speaks to, there's really great opportunities for you to swap closed-ended for open-ended questions. And I find that the mix of both, so asking something quantitative, but then from there, drawing it out broader and asking questions afterwards that follow up on those quantitative questions like a yes, no, and then jump into something like, why did you say this with an open-ended question is a fantastic opportunity to sub in or complement a quantitative question with something that's open-ended. And if you have any further questions, feel free to check out voiceform.com or book a meeting with us. We would love to share more details about this blog with you, or also help you optimize your survey for great open-ended questions. So learn more at voiceform.com, reach out to us anytime, and thanks for checking out this video.